Hello there guys, welcome to my channel. Okay, in this video here I'm going to present to you algebra masterclass. So I'm going to explain to you most of the topics related to the algebras. Okay, first I'll be starting the lessons with the algebra addition and also subtraction. So in this case, now we have here algebra, the term, that your term here must be the same. So if you have like a plus b, you will have the same answer a plus b, because both of these you cannot add in together. So example, if you don't have any numbers over here, it means it's 1. So 1 plus 1, you have there about 2, and then we just have to follow the alphabets, which is a. Okay, same goes to here. Now you have 7 and 2, right? So we just have to add on this, so you'll be getting here about 9a. So in this case, if you see, here is a and here is b, so we cannot add. So here you have the answer 7a plus with 2b, so you have the same answer. Now in this case, we have a term by xy. Okay, as long as it is the same, you can add it. So you got about 9xy. Or if I change this example, now I have a 7xy plus with 2yx. So even though this is not exactly the same, but just the orientation of the letters. So because like 3 times with 4, you are getting here 12. If I change the orientation, like 4 times with 3, you are getting the same answer. So in this case, it is still the same. So you'll be getting here about 9xy. Okay, so let us go to the negative part. Okay, now over here we do have algebra addition and subtraction, the same one, but here I will involve in the negative numbers. So make sure you have go through the negative number video in the link below. So over here we'll have a positive, so positive 1 minus with 7, so here we are getting here about negative 6a. Okay, so when you have a negative and negative, it will become a you have to add the number and follow their sign. So your answer here will be negative 9a. So over here you see there is a opposite, it's a different sign. So it's a 12 minus with 7, so here you'll be getting about 5. Oh, there is one mistake over here. You see this part, here's a and here's b, right? So in this case we cannot add o minus, so we just have to write down the same answer here. Okay, now look at here this part. So here we have x and y, so we can add them and we can plus them together, so depending on your sign here. So here we have negative 7 and minus 20, so here you got your answer as negative 27 x and y. Alright, okay, now look at here, this is a level 2 algebra addition and subtraction. So here we have to choose the same term. Example, now we have here 7xy and here we have a plus 3x. Okay, so we write both of these first and follow their sign. So this one will be plus 3x, and then we have here negative 4ab and negative 12ab. Okay, so this is, so you just have to write it down. So now you got that 12ab. So both of these you can actually add in together, right? So here we have 10xy and here we will have negative 16ab. So that is how you write the answer if you have a questions like this. Okay, now we just have to do it one shot. Okay, so this is a negative x7x and here we have a positive xy. So both of these we can make it together and we can simplify. We are getting here about negative 4xy, and look at here this part. So here we have a plus 14ab and here we have a minus 12ab. So here we will have about plus 2ab. Okay, now look at number 3. So we do have a negative 7xy and we just take the same sign. Okay, so here we have about negative 10xy, and if you look at this part, this is a negative 4 and negative 12 AB, so we can make it together to make it as a negative 16 AB. Okay, now look at here, this part here, 10 ABC and plus 3 ABC, so we are getting here about 13 ABC. So here we do have a negative 4D and 12D, so here we have about negative 16D. Okay, for multiplying, expanding, so we have here a multiply with a, so here we will have here a square. So please don't get confused with the a plus with a. So here we have 1 plus 1, so here we will have a 2a. Okay, so please don't get confused with both of this. And a bit of indices, if we have like a times a times a times a, so we have like 4 a's in a row, so we multiply all together, so it will become a power of 4. Alright, so if let's say here we have a square multiply with a square, it will be equals to a to power of 4. Alright, so this is the basic. So let us go through in more detail. Okay, now for example, now we have 3x plus 4. Okay, so we just have to take the 3 and multiply at both sides. So we'll be getting 3 times x, we are getting here about 3x. And 3 times 4, we are getting here about 12. Okay, now if you want to multiply algebra, example like A multiply with B multiply with C, we are getting A, B, C all together. Okay, so now if I add on another algebra over here, example like a 3y x plus 4, so what you'll be getting here is take this and multiply it over here. So 3y multiply with x, so we got here about 3xy, and then we multiply with 4, so we are getting here about 12y. Okay, now let us go a little bit harder by adding a negative numbers. So example, negative 4ay multiply with 5y minus with 2ab. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit harder. So if you look at it here, this part, this one will be multiplying with 5y. So we look at the numbers first. Negative 4 multiplied with 5, so you'll be getting here about negative 20, and the a is alone. Okay, so just write the a. Y you have 2, alright, y you have 2, so we just put the y square. Okay, and then look at the next one, this side. Okay, the whole thing including with the negative. So negative 4 multiply with the negative 2, so you'll be getting here about positive 8. So a and a will become a square, and here we have here b and y, so just write there b and y. So that's how you solve this, you expand this. Okay, now you're going to like a 2 brackets formation. Okay, now we have x plus 3 and x minus 7. Okay, so we just have to take this one, the first one, multiply over here. Okay, so here we are getting here about x square. Then we multiply the x with the negative 7. So please include the sign and the numbers together. So here we have negative 7x. Okay, now we look at negative plus 3. Multiply with x. So here we have plus 3x. And this one will be multiplying with negative 7. So here we are getting about negative 21. And if you notice, we can simplify this one and this one all together. So we have x square minus 4x minus 21. Okay, so let me give you another example. I will include with negative. So here we got negative 4x minus 3, and here I have about 7 minus x. Okay, now the same thing, include with the sign. Okay, then we multiply over here. So here we got about negative 28x. Then we multiply with this one, negative x. So here we got about positive 4x square. Okay, then we move to the next number, negative 3. Multiply with this one first. We got negative 21. Then we multiply with this. So here we are getting there about plus 3x. Okay, now we rearrange it, okay, to a quadratic formula. So quadratic means is this. So this is your base of your quadratic. Okay, so here we have a, b and c. So the a must be together with the x square. So now we just have to rearrange it. Minus 28x and plus 3x minus 21. So here we have this to be simplified. So we have the 4x square minus 25x minus 21. Okay, so this is more to expanding. Okay, how if we have a triple bracket? Okay, triple bracket such as plus 1. Now you have there plus 2, and we have here minus 7. So we try to solve this one first. Okay, we try to solve this one first. So x and x, you got there about x square. X and 2x, we got here about 2x. 1 times x, we got here about x. So 1 plus 2, 1 multiplied with 2, you got there about 2. Okay, so this is what you have solved inside the bracket. Now we just have to simplify this. Okay, simplify this. We can simplify the plus 2x with x. So here we have this. So we got that 3x plus 2. Okay, now we have to repeat the same thing. So we can take x square, multiply each of these. So here we got the first one, we got x cubed. Then we minus with 7x square. Okay, after we done this, we move to the next one, plus 3x, multiply with x. So here we have plus 3x square. Then we multiply with negative 7 minus 21x. Okay, now we move to plus 2. This plus 2 we multiply with x. We got 2x multiply with negative 7. So here we got negative 14. So now we can simplify this. Okay, so here we got minus 7 and plus 3. Okay, then we can simplify this as well. So here we got negative 19x minus 14. So this is how we simplify the expanding with the 3 brackets. Okay. Okay, the next one is the third chapter, so which we are going to learn about the factorization. So over here is the opposite from the expanding. So now this is expanding. Okay, example, this I just going to repeat a small step over here. So this is, we call it as a expanding, 3x plus 12. This is expanding. So now if you are doing the opposite way, which is from here to here, this is, we call it as a factorization. So now for factorization here, okay, example 3x plus with 21. So we have to take the same numbers, okay, the same, which we can take it out. So example, we have to take out the smallest factor here. So here will be 3. So which is, here you have x plus with 7. So this is factorization. For example, now I will involve the algebra. Example, now you have a b plus a square. A square here, it means you have the a and a. So which means this is their a square. So when we expand this, so we are getting, we just have to remove the a. So here we have b plus a. Okay, because here we only remove only one a. Okay, example, now here we have ab and here we have bx. So here we just have to remove the b because it is it appeared in both terms. We remove the b, we put the b outside, and here we have a plus x. Okay, now we go to the next one. Okay, example 21xy plus with 14x square. Okay, now the number, we focus on the numbers first. So numbers, we can have 7 as the same one of the factors. So if you put here 7, so here we will have 3 and here we have 2. Now we take out the alphabets. So here we have x, only one x, and here we have x square. So we can take out x here, and here you have the remaining y, and here we have a remaining the additional x. Okay, so this is factorization. So this factorization, you have a few more, which is a quadratic factorization. So the quadratic factorization I'll be teaching you in the next following slides. So this is the basic factorization. Okay, for change of subject here, so this is your subject. Example, now we have the ym, for example. Okay, now the x is, we call it as a subject. So now I'm going to train you and how to make one of these as a subject. So I start from the basic 4 rules. Okay, the basic 4 rules, which is, so here I make it, okay, if you notice that, okay, this is equals to sign. So whenever you have a plus, when you move that, it become minus. If you have minus here, it become plus. If here you have a multiply, it will become a divide over here. And if you have a divide, it will become multiply. So this is a changing of subjects concept. Okay, example, now here you have a minus a. When you move there, it becomes plus a. Okay, so you already make your x as your subject. Okay, now we are going to make the s as subject as well. So here's minus plus b. So plus move there, it becomes minus. Okay, so here we have here a. This is a multiply, right? So the y divided by a. So the a will move down, it becomes divide. So this is your x as your subject. Now over here we move the a above because here is divide, a divided with a, so it's divide. When you move to opposite side, it become a multiply. So you got there a times with b. Okay, so this is the 4 important concepts: number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Okay, so please remember this. So next I'm going to do a little bit more complicated example. Now example, I have ax minus b equals to h. Now make x as a subject. So if you can see here, we move the b first. This is a minus, so the minus becomes plus. Now we write again here xy. So now you can see that the a here is a multiply. So the multiply will move there, it becomes a divide here. Okay, this is how to make x as a subject. So let me give you a little bit more difficult examples. Okay, example, you have a square root of x. Okay, you want to make your x as your subject. So you have to move the square root into square. So this is how we change it. Okay, so this is rule number 5. Okay, now let us train again with one of the example question. So here we have 3x minus a divided with b equals to y. Now the whole thing, okay, so move the whole square root into the opposite side, it becomes y square. So now we move out, this is a divide, okay, this is the divide with b, so the b will move the opposite side, becomes a multiply. Okay, so here we have minus a, so the minus a will move to the opposite side, here we become plus. So now we have here 3x, so the 3 we move here, this is a multiply, so we move the opposite side, here will become a divide. So this is your how do you change your x as your subject. Okay, now another example that I would like to give here is 3 square root of x minus a over b, and it's the same concept. Okay, so now now there is no square root over here, so we move the b over here first. This is a divide, right? So it becomes bx. Now we have the minus a, so the minus a will move to the opposite side, it becomes plus a. Okay, now we move the 3 to the opposite side, it becomes divide. Now we left with the square root of x. So the square root of x here, it moves there, it becomes x equals to square root of the whole entire thing over b. Okay, so this is your how you make your x as your subject. Okay, now we go to linear equation. So the linear equation here is finding the value, which means you have solve x, or we can also have find x, the value of the x. Okay, example, we still follow the chapter 4, the 5 important rules. So which is this? Okay, now we do have minus, so minus will move there, it become plus. So you got your x value as 7. Now here we have as a plus, so the plus move there, it becomes minus. So the minus 4 minus 3, we are getting here about 1. So now you see here this part, this is a divide, so the multiply will change to divide. So you got there 4. Now here, as you can see, this is a divide, so the divide will move there, become multiply. Okay, so these are the 4 important rules. This is number 3 and this is number 4. So let's combine this. Now you got that 2x minus 3 equals to 7. Okay, now the first step here is negative 3, you move there, it becomes plus 3. So here we are getting about 10. So the 2 will move down, it becomes a divide. So this is how we get 5 as your answer. Okay, so this is linear equation. So let me give you a bit more difficult questions. Okay, example like this type of questions. So here we have a divide. Okay, so these two, make sure you multiply here. The divide becomes multiply. So here we do have 14. Copy down back. And here you can see it's a plus, right? So the plus will move there, becomes minus. So here we got 11. And the 4 here, we move down, it becomes a divide. So this is your answer. For IGCSE and O levels, remain your answer in fractions. Okay, for this type of question, we have two different methods. So I'm going to teach you the easier one and also the harder one. So the easier one, method number 1, we take this, move there, it becomes 7 minus 4. And here we write down back what is remaining on your left hand side. So here we got 3. Move the 3 to the opposite side. So here we got 9. And the 2 we move down. Okay, this is a multiply, so it becomes divide. So 9 over 2. So x here you have here 9 over 2, or you can even simplify to make it as a 4 1 over 2. Okay, so now let me teach you another way which is a bit more difficult, but you'll get the same answer. Okay, as we all know, all the whole number, okay, all the whole number, you will have over 1. Okay, like 3 is actually over 1. So we make it 4 is over 1. Now we simplify the fractions. Okay, make your denominator the same. So here we got 2x plus, here will be multiplied with 3, and here also will be multiplying with 3. So here we got over 3, and here become 12. So now we take the 3, we move here, it becomes 21. And we can see this part, this is a plus 12. So we move there, it become minus 12. So here we got 9. Here's 2x. And then here we move the 2 to the opposite side. It becomes 9 divided by 2. Okay, so this is another method of a linear equation. So next I'm going to do algebraic fractions, which involving the algebraic with fractions. Okay, now we are going to chapter number 6, algebraic fraction. Okay, now here, before that, let me give you a base introduction of fractions. So this is 1 over 3 and 1 over 4, and we want to plus this. We have to make sure the denominator is the same, correct? Okay, so here we are going to multiply the 4 at this side and the 3 at this side. So that's how we are going to get over 12, and here will be 4 plus with 3. Okay, so remember this concept before we apply in our algebraic. Okay, now here we have 1 over A, and here will be 1 over B. So the same thing, we are going to take the B here, multiply at this side, and we are going to take A at this side, we are going to multiply it over here. So we are going to get AB, and here will be B plus with A. Okay, so that's how to solve this. Okay, now I'm going to step by step, I will be increasing the levels. Okay, example now, if you have a 12 here and 4, not necessarily we are going to multiply 4 and 12. We just have to make the denominator the same. So we just going to multiply here with 3. Okay, so same thing if I have like AB and let's say it's B. So we're just going to multiply here with A. Okay, so we have like A plus 1 plus A over AB. Okay, so this is the level 1. Okay, for level number 2, you'll be having numbers. Example like 1 over 3xy plus with, now you have that 12x square. Okay, so we are going to simplify this. So at this part, we are going to multiply 4 to make your denominator the same. So now we have that 12. And here you can see there is a x square, and here's only x. So over here you have only x. Multiply with x. Okay, at this side, so we are lacking of the y. So we just have to multiply with y. So here we have 12x square y. And above here we have 4x plus with y. Okay, so I'm going to give you another example here. So example, now you have there 5x square, and here we have there about 25y. So let's say I just make a number here, 2 and 3. Okay, so at this part, we are going to multiply 5 and y to make it equals to, okay, so the number will become 25, and here we have y, and here we don't have y. That's why we multiply with y. And here we have to multiply with x square. So here we have 25 x square y, and here we have about 10 y plus with 3x square. Okay, this is the algebraic fractions. So now I'm going to the hardest level. For example, now I have here x minus 1 plus with 3x minus 1 example. Okay, now here for this we cannot edit which is inside the bracket. We cannot add on, so we just have to multiply the whole thing. Take the whole thing here, multiply up and down, and here we are going to take this, we are going to multiply it here. Okay, for this you don't have to write it 2 times, so we just have to make it like only once, and we are going to write both of them. Okay, so here multiply with 1, and we will have 3x minus 1 plus with this one, so it becomes x minus 1. And then we just have to simplify this. So take the x together. Okay, so we got there about 4x minus 1 minus 1. So here we got there about minus 2. And if can, we just simplify this. So here we got there about 3x square minus 3x. And here you got minus x and plus with 1. And where you'll be getting the answer as this 3x square. And here we got 4x plus with 1. Okay, so this is how do we simplify it. Okay, for quadratic factorization, example, now we have x square, 4x minus with 45. Okay, now to factorize this, we have to find the factor for each of these. Now for x square, we will have a factor of x and x. This is easy for us to factorize. Now if you look at 45, right, the factor here can be 145, and the next one we have here about 315, and then we will have here 5 and 9. Okay, now we will have 3 pairs of factors that can be used over here. So before we select which one, box 1, box 2 or box number 3, so we have to identify what is this. So here we have a negative 4. Okay, the numbers within the box here, we have to plus and minus. Are we getting negative 4? So here you have a 45 or 44, so which is not suitable. Now we look at the second one, 3 and 15. So if we plus and minus here, we are getting here 12 or 18. Okay, so which is not also suitable with this. Now let us take a look at this one. 5 and 9. So if we plus and minus, we can get negative 4. So now let us take 5 and 9 and equals to the answer, which is a negative 4. And here we have to play around with the sign. So here we have to use positive and here we have to use negative. Okay, so therefore we are getting the answer negative 4. So we just have to place this plus 5 and minus 4. That's all. Okay, now let me change the number over here. Okay, for example, I just change it to 18. Okay, I just change it to plus 18. So let's say I put here plus 18 and plus 45. Okay, in this case, what happened is the box that I can select over here is the second box, because 3 and 15 you can able to get 18. So how do we get the positive 18 here? So we have to add the sign positive and positive at this side. Okay, so here we are getting here positive 3 and here will be positive 15. So that's how we are getting the answer. Okay, now let us try a bit difficult one. Okay, now let us try with the negative 44. Okay, how do we get negative 44 from this? So we can able to get 44 from the first box, which is 1 and 45 equals to negative 44. So here you have, here's positive and here will be negative. So what happens over here is, so we just have to put here negative 45 and here will be plus with 1. So this is your, how do we factorize the quadratic factorization. Okay. Okay, now let us try with a different number. Okay, using this, so we are going to find x square. So x square can be separated as a x and x. Now look at 12. 12 here will be 1, 12, 2, 6, and another one here will be 3 and 4. So we have to choose the third box. So the third box here will be like plus and minus. You can get negative 7. So how do we get negative over here? So we can get here by adding here negative and negative. So your answer here is this, negative 3 and negative 4. Okay, if I change it to, let's say I just make here positive 8x. Okay, so the box that can be used is the second box, so which consists of a 2 and 6. So here we have there about 8. Now we just have to add on both of these numbers, and here we'll be getting here plus 2 and plus 6. Okay, so that is for the quadratic factorization. Okay, now I'm going to teach you quadratic factorization by using the formula. Okay, same thing here, by using the formula. Example, now I just write here, okay, 12, the previous example. Now the formula here will be x equals to plus minus b plus minus square root b square negative 4ac over 2a. I'm pretty sure you have seen this formula in your year 9 or your year 10, depending on your school syllabus. Okay, so here we are going to write down the equation for the quadratic. So if you look at here, this part, okay, so this is a, this is b, and this is c. So the a here will be 1, b here will be 8, and c over here will be 12. Okay, so we are going to take all these values, we are going to substitute into this formula. So here we will have negative 8 plus minus, we are going to substitute it straight away. So 8 square we will have there about 64, minus 4, a is 1, so we don't have to bother it. So c here is 12, okay, over 2a, so it's 2. So we have to simplify the one inside inside the bracket here. So we are going to get 64 minus with 48. Okay, so we are going to get here plus minus 16 square root 16. Okay, now here we will have an answer of, let me erase this part. Okay, so your x here, okay, the x here will be -8 plus minus 4 over 2. Okay, so the plus minus is the one you will have two answers. One is x is -8 plus 4 over 2. So which means you will be getting here about -4 over 2, which means you are getting -2. Okay, the another one over here, you will be getting, okay, let me erase this part. You will have x is equals to -8 minus 4 over 2. So x here you have -12 divided by 2. You will be getting your answer as -6. Okay, so keep in your mind that this is solving. Okay, we are finding the x value. So once we have find the x value, so let me erase this part. Okay, from this formula we can get x is -2 and also x is -6. So this is considered as a solving. So if you want to do only factorization, so what you can do here is you have to take the -2 and move inside. So we got here about +2, and same thing you have to do it over here. So we got here plus with 6. Okay, so this equation can be simplified, can be factorized as this. If you want to solve this, you can use back the formula and to get your answer. Okay, so this is your quadratic factorization. This is very important when you have in your paper 4, so where your marks here will be roughly about 4 marks to 6 marks question. So you have to use this formula either to factorize or to solve the equations. Okay, to solve a difficult question that involve a quadratic and also algebraic fraction. So in case you have like this, in for other type of questions, so remember the simple concept. So we have to cross multiply, which means that the b will go here and become multiply with c, and the d will go here and become multiply with d. Okay, so this is a simple concept that we are going to apply it over here. So we take the 3 here, we are going to multiply it over here, so it becomes 3 bracket x squared minus 6x minus 7, and we take the whole thing over here and going to multiply it at here at this part, so it becomes 5x bracket x plus 1. So we just have to expand this. Okay, expand this. So here we got 3, 16 and also a -21, and here please expand this as well. So here we got 5x squared plus with 5x. Okay, now we have to make either one of these as a 0. Alright, so all the parts here we are going to move to the opposite side. So this is how we solve the quadratic equation. So now, so we just take 5x squared. So look at this. This is a plus, so it become minus over here, and here's plus 5, and then here we have a -18. So it become positive 18. So here's a negative 21. So we write down here, it become plus 21. So equals to 0. So here we can simplify this. So which is, you got the 2x squared, 23x plus with 21. So this is not solvable by using the normal method. Alright. So we are going to write down the equations. So we are going to use this equation. Okay, so A here will be 2 and B here will be 23 and C here will be 21. So we're just going to substitute over here. So x will be negative 23 plus minus. So here the b square here will become 23 square minus 4a. A is 2. And then the c here will you have there about 21. Okay, and then divided by 2a. So you'll be getting here 4. So first we have to solve the one that is inside the square root. So we get here negative 23 plus minus square root of 361 divided by 4. So at this point here, we simplify this. So we are going to get x is equals to negative 23 plus minus. So here we are getting here about 19 over 4. So which means that x negative 23 plus 19 divided by 4, or the another one here we have is x okay, there is no space, so let me write it down somewhere. So let me erase off this place. Okay, so x here you'll be having negative 4 divided by 4. So x here will have negative 1, or at this part I'm going to use minus divided by 4. So here you have, okay, here you have 42 divided by 4. So which means in a decimal point you'll be having negative 10.5. Okay, so this is how you're going to solve. So you have that two answers. Alright, so this is how you're going to solve something related to very complicated algebraic fraction questions. Okay, for simultaneous equation here, so I'm going to teach you both methods. The first one is a elimination method. Okay, elimination method. Okay, for elimination method, we are going to eliminate either x or your y. So we have to search for the one that is having the same variables. So now we are going to minus this. Okay, so now x minus with 5x, we are getting here about negative 4x. Now look at here. Positive 2x, 2y minus with 2y, we are getting here 0. Okay, there's no value. Okay, now 5 minus with 9, we are getting here negative 4. So x here will be 1. So soon after you get the x is 1, you can substitute into another equation, either the first equation or your second equation over here, to get your answer for your y. So x is 1. So 1 will be moving there. So you have 4 divided by 2. So y is a 2 there as your answer. Okay, so you already have your x and your y. So this is for the elimination. Okay, how if you have no similar algebras, no similar terms, but you have the same x and your y. So what we can do over here, we have to multiply. Let's say you want to eliminate the x, right? So what happened over here, we are going to multiply with 2. So I'm going to write it down here. This is multiplying with 2. So if you multiply with 2, like this, okay, the whole thing. So here we get 2x plus 2y equals to 6. So in this case, we just have to put here minus. So 2x minus with 2x we are getting here nothing, 0. 3y minus with 2y we are getting here y. 8 minus 6 we are getting here 2. Okay, so this is for y, and then we take the y value, substitute inside the first equation, which is the easiest. So here we got 2, and we move the 2 there, it become minus. So your x here, you have the 1. Okay, so this is for simultaneous equation for elimination method. But elimination method is rarely used in your IGCSE paper 2 and even paper 4. Okay, now I want to go for substitution method. So this method is much more effective. Even you can use it for your quadratic equation. So now we just select the easiest one, which is the first equation. Make either x or your y as your subject. So now I'm going to planning to make x as my subject. Okay, after you have made this as your subject, what you have to do is you have to substitute into the second equation. Alright, the second equation. So now we are going to substitute here x. What is your x? Your x is 5 minus 2y. 5 minus 2y plus with 2y equals to 9. The rest is all the same except for this. Okay, we are going to substitute the x value. Now we are going to multiply. So here we got 25 minus 10y plus with 2y equals to 9. So now over here we have 25 minus 8y. So the 25 we moved there, we got negative 25. And here we are getting negative 8y equals to negative 16. So here y we divide negative 16 divided with negative 8, we got here about 2. So y is 2 as your answer. And this 2 we are going to substitute into the first equation. Or we can use this directly, so which is much more convenient. So what is your y? Y is 2. So 5 minus 4, you got your x answer as 1. Okay, so this is simultaneous equation, linear equation. Okay, now this is the first type. Let me I'll give you a bit harder one, which will involve the fractions. Okay, example like this. Okay, so now we are going to take either one of this equation. Let me take the hardest one. I take number 1. I make x as my subject. So first we move the y to that side, become negative 2y. Here you have 5x. So the 5 you move there, you got divided with 5. So this is your x. See, this is a fraction type. Okay, now we have to take this and substitute inside the second equation. So over here you need to be a bit more careful. The x here will be 19 minus 2y over 5 plus with 3y equals to 12. Okay, so I'm going to do step by step. These two, okay, remember I just revised a fraction, multiplying fraction. 2 over 3 times with, this is not related to this question. Okay, now over here, how do we multiply this? We are going to multiply in this way, right? So that is the concept. So it's like 8 over 21. So we are going to multiply only at the upper position over here. So we will have there about 38 minus with 4y over 5. And look at here, this is a over 1, right? So we have to multiply with 5. So here we get about 15y over 5. Okay, now we can make it over the same, which is 5, and 38 minus 4y plus with 15y. So here the 5 will be multiplying with 12, so you'll be getting here about 60, and we simplify 38. So if we simplify the negative 4y plus with 15y, we are getting here about 11. So here we got there about plus 11y. So we take this and we are going to move there. So we got 60 minus 38. Here will be 11y. Here you got 32 divided by 11. So your y here will be 2. And then we take this value, substitute inside the whatever that is convenient for you. It can be a, 1, 2, and number 3. I'm comfortable with this x. So I'm just going to substitute here. X equals to 19. So your y is 2. So 2 times 2, you got 4. So 19 minus 4, you get there about 15 divided by 5. So x is 3. So you got your answer. Y is 2 and x is 3. So this is your simultaneous equation under substitution. So I have given you the two types. Okay, for example, now it's a simultaneous quadratic equation. So you will be having a quadratic equation, but now we cannot solve it because we have x and y. So first we just choose the easiest one and to make either one of them as a subject. Okay, example, like I'm going to make the x as my subject. Okay, so this is your x value. So I'm going to take this and replace it over here. So here will become 2 plus 2y here square plus with y square equals to 5. So now I'm going to expand this. Okay, now I'm going to simplify this. So here we got 4. Here we got 4y. Here we also have 4y plus with a 4y square plus with another 4y equals to 5. Okay, so we are going to simplify this. So the square we have 4 and 1. Okay, here's 1. So we are going to make it as a 5y square. Okay, both of this. And for y we have here 2, which will equals to 8y. And the 4, and here we have a 5, positive 5, a constant number. So the positive 5 will come across and become a minus 5. So here we will have here minus 1. So this one will be equals to 0. So from here we can use the formula. Okay, so by using the formula, okay, so now over here a is 5, the b is 8, and c is a negative 1. So here we do have x equals to negative 8 plus minus square root. So here we have the 8 square, so we got 64. 4, a is 5, c is a negative 1. Okay, divided by 2a. 2a stands for 2 times 5, you got there about 10. Okay, now we simplify in the inside bracket. So here we have about plus, okay, so we have there plus 20, so we got there about 84 over 10. So your x value here you have square root of 84, you'll be getting there about 9.17 over 10. So now we have that two solutions. So one is x equals to negative 8 plus 9.17 divided with 10. So which will be results in divided with 10, and you got the 0.117. The another one here we are going to use minus divided with 10, and we will be having negative 8 so we got here negative 1.717. okay, so this is the solution for 6 marks question in your IGCSE paper. So make sure if you have 4 to 6 marks, please use this formula as a reminder. Okay, this is for simultaneous quadratic equation.